Hello everyone, it's Lottie from Cancer is a Lifestyle, and today I am doing the 15 fall question tag. And I just want to say that I really enjoy doing these type of things. I think it's a great um, fun way to find out things about ourselves and about other people. So let's get started, okay? So the very first question is favorite Halloween movie. Well, I'm going to tell you the truth that I do not like um, any kind of horror at all. But I have a daughter who just loves horror. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. But my daughter happens to love scary movies. And in fact, uh, we have, I know this sounds like really old, but we actually have tons of DVDs of every scary movie made. So, and I don't think there's a movie that she has ever been afraid of. They don't scare her or anything. So around this time, she has like two that she just really, really loves. Now, the reason I'm bringing her up is because for every movie she has seen, so have I. Okay, so I am like her partner in crime, and even though I don't like horror movies, I watch them with her, like through my fingers. Okay, uh, and I will tell you the two that we will always watch during this time that she prefers to watch is Michael Myers, any kind of Michael Myers movie, and Jason, the Halloween ones. Those are the top two, and she actually looks forward. She is a fall baby, and around October 19th is when her birthday is, and um, I have to watch with her. So yeah, those are the two movies that we watch. So apple or pumpkin pie? Now I'm going to tell you the truth that I am not an apple lover. I like to eat apples, raw apples, like, I enjoy them a lot, especially around this season because I believe that's when they're at their best, is in the fall. But I've never cared for much for apple cider or apple pie or apple cake or apple anything, crumble. I've always, but my daughter, for instance, is a great cook, and she makes the best apple pie that I have ever had, the only apple pie that I will ever eat. So if my daughter is making that apple pie, then it's a tie between apple and pumpkin. If it's just a random apple pie, I'm choosing pumpkin. How's that? Number 3, Halloween party or exploring haunted house. Now again, my preference is probably neither. I know this is like a really weird fall questions and probably not unlike other people's. I have watched like a couple of others and none of them are like mine. So how's that? I know that these are strange. I have this thing about not liking, like I like to decorate for the holidays, even though it's not a holiday. Halloween is not a holiday. But I like to, participate in all of the activities. How's that? But I am not a fan of wearing, and not just for Halloween, but for Christmas or St. Patrick's Day or 4th of July or anything. I don't like anything. I don't like to wear items that are only um, a one-time thing, like St. Patrick's Day T-shirt or 4th of July red, white, and blue shirt, or Halloween, decor shirt that you can only wear a couple times a year. I don't like those kind of things. I actually, for the very first time last year, my girlfriend actually bought me some ugly Christmas sweaters. Otherwise, I do not own anything like that. I don't like those kind of things. I feel like they're wasteful. I don't. I don't feel that I wear them all the time. It's okay if other people do. I'm not judging anyone, okay? And but I don't really care to. I like things that I can put on all year long, and it fits every season. So I'm gonna choose neither, because. But I have been in a haunted house before. How's that? Number 4, store-bought or pumpkin patch. Pumpkin. Now, I have not been to a pumpkin patch ever. I have always lived in the city, even though I have been born on in the country back in Poland. But you have to understand that I am actually an immigrant child. So, and that's like, we came here when I was 7 years old. So you're talking about, I'm 54, 47 years ago, any immigrants that came, they basically came from communist countries. So we did not have access to a lot of things, for instance, like pumpkin patches or what is Halloween. So when we came here, we lived like immigrants live. We were basically still eating Polish food. We were talking Polish. We were following Polish traditions. Nowadays, it is just so different out there with the world not being communist like it was, 40 some years ago, that people all over the world know what Halloween is. They know what a pumpkin patch is. I mean, all the activities for fall. They know what 4th of July is, basically. They know what Martin Luther King is about, So back then, I didn't do much of that. I was not ever in a pumpkin patch. So I've always bought pumpkins from a store, or like, they would have like a store or a church event would have a fall harvest where they would have some animals and, a couple straw bales laying around, make a little mock maze, but it was never an authentic one. How's that? But I have made a real pumpkin pie from a pumpkin. How's that? So number 5, favorite fall scent. Now this is the one that really gave me I had to think of really hard about, because like I said, I am not the average Halloween person, and fall person. I love fall, but my reasons for loving fall are more for the cool temperatures, for the beautiful scenery. I love seeing the color changing of the leaves, but I don't really have a fall scent. Like, I do not care for all this pumpkin scents everywhere. I don't like the pumpkin flavorings. I don't like the pumpkin. The only thing I like pumpkin is pie. Everything else is just like, pumpkin candles. It's just so irritating to me. Pumpkin donuts, pumpkin munchkins, pumpkin everything. And I don't have that. I don't care for that at all. And so I would tell you, my favorites, I guess, fall scent. I don't know if it really falls into a scent, but I know I can notice this and I can sense it. So I like when the smell of fall. How's that? I like coming out. I like to see the cool temperatures, and there's like a huge shift in the temperatures where it's not a cool breeze. It is a cold temperature that comes in at night, especially, where it feels like fall. It smells like fall. You can actually smell the rain coming. And I love to leave my windows open when it's a little, it's a lot cooler like that, a little nippy. And I'll sleep with all my comforters with the window open, and I sleep really, really well. I love that. And I only do that for a little bit in the fall, because then it gets too cold and you can't do that anymore. But so I like the fall scent of, I guess, the woodsiness, the rain, that you can feel it, that fall is coming, that the temperatures are shifting. 6, favorite fall drink. I am probably going to surprise you, but my favorite fall drink that I don't drink during the summer at all, but once the temperatures shift, I love to have the traditional Polish tea that I grew up on, where you serve it in a tall glass, and it's just a regular black tea. It's not anything, it's just the regular orange pico or black tea in a large glass, and with a slice of lemon, real lemon in there, and a little bit of sugar. I love it like that. That is the traditional Polish way of drinking tea, and I love that. And once the temperature shift, I drink tea like crazy. So 7, Halloween or Thanksgiving. I will be hands down Thanksgiving. That's usually my favorite time I used to be off during the week of Thanksgiving, and I would spend it really more by myself during the day because everyone was working. I would write, and I love to write. I love writing on my blog, for instance. And I also love that is one holiday that my entire family would split up and everyone would go to their in-laws. So the time that I would spend would only be with my children. So it would only be Thanksgiving with my children, and it was just a lot of fun and intimate and more casual, not as dressy. And so I love Thanksgiving for that reason. 8, most loved pumpkin-based food. I am going to tell you something. Like I said, I don't, pumpkin is not my favorite, although I like the pumpkin pie, and that's about it. But I have seen this, and I'm not sure if it was Martha Stewart or not, but I've always wanted to try it. Now, I cannot imagine that it tastes like delicious, but I still want to try it. Is when they took a whole pumpkin, and I think it was Martha Stewart, and she made a creamy soup out of it, and then she served it inside the pumpkin. And I thought that looked so delicious. I don't know why. Probably isn't, but I've always wanted to try that. Okay. Number 9, corn maze or haunted house. Oh, wow. I think I would take a corn maze, but I would want a really nice corn maze, like not just the kiddie ones that I would see, like I said, in the city that, a church would set up or like a store would set up. I want a real live corn maze that, let me wander around and maybe there'd be a bench or something to sit. 10, favorite candy to eat on Halloween. Every year, hands down, it's candy corn. You only get it one time a year, and we will actually buy the ones that are the candy corns and the ones that are actually shaped like little pumpkins. So we'll have one package of that and one package of this, and I know they're really sweet and they're really bad for your teeth, but we give ourselves a treat every year. Okay, 11, favorite Thanksgiving food. My favorite Thanksgiving food is actually, besides turkey that everybody says that, my favorite Thanksgiving food happens to be, like I said, on our little, even if we have guests over or not for Thanksgiving or in the past, we would always make a little supper for ourselves that was separate from the main meal that we would eat the following day. And it would be just something simple like a salad, some mashed potatoes, a tofurkey. My daughter's a vegetarian, so we would always have a tofurkey. And then I would make her favorite salad, which was Hawaiian, and my favorite salad, which is this Polish dish, kind of similar to like a potato salad, but you have a lot of vegetables in. I don't know what to call it. So I would make like a big pot for her and a big bowl for me, and we would kind of snack on that for the several days afterwards. So that is our favorite thing to do for food. And 12, favorite childhood fall memory. Like I said, while I was growing up, when we came here, we just did not do a lot of the activities that Americans did because we were new to this country and we did not know anything about that. We came from a communist country, and we were not exposed to that until we were in high school. So my favorite memories, I would say, are when my children were very small, and every Halloween I would walk with them from house to house for candy. And back then it was so many children that would go from home to home. It was just so many children. It was like, lots of children, and you would walk with other moms. And I don't care how beautiful the day before was, the day of Halloween was always cold, always windy, and you always had to wear a coat. And I remember, for instance, I would have a cup of coffee that I would take with me as we would go down the block. But that's something that I do miss, and I understand that nowadays it's unsafe for children to be doing that, but I do miss on Halloween the ringing of my bell. I always have every year a big bowl of candy that I have for the kids, and hardly any of them ever come anymore, because of the way things are now. And so 13, sweaters or scarves. Well, I am going to tell you, I own very little sweaters. I went through menopause when my cancer began at the age of 42, and I had a hysterectomy. I had hot flashes for about 15 years. I shouldn't say 15, for a good 12 years. And I could not even look at sweaters. And I still have a hard time with sweaters because I get hot. So I would say hands down scarves. Having 4 bouts with cancer, I have lost my hair twice, and it has thinned out the other 2. I used to have a huge storage bin of scarves that I would wind around my head and try to do these designs like the African women do with their hair. So scarves, hands down. 14, woolen socks or slippers. Socks in the winter time. We do not wear shoes in the house, not even slippers. I don't. And during the summer, I am a barefoot person. Right now, I'm barefoot. Until it gets super, super cold, I will be wearing socks. And 15, favorite fall tradition. Wow, my favorite fall tradition right now, in the last several years since I have been older, is I love preparing for winter. And by that means, I will make my little list. I really enjoy it. I will make a list of things I need to buy. I will go through my wardrobe and say, okay, what am I short of? What do I need to replace? I will, caulk my windows. I will put plastic on there. I will just seal tight my home, because I am a person that in the wintertime, I like to burrow. I like to nest. I like to look at the scenery outside, but I don't really want to be part of it. How's that? So that's my favorite fall tradition. Well, anyway, you guys, that's the end of the 15 questions. I am not going to tag anyone. I am going to tag everyone. How's that? I'm going to take a page from Gina, who loves to craft. That's her name, Gina Loves to Craft. And I am going to tag everyone. I will tell you, as much as I love doing these type of things, I don't like the idea of tagging. How's that? Not that I mind it, and I don't care if other people tag, or if you tag me, I'm not going to be offended or anything. I am always, like what my boss says, I am the peacemaker. I am the diplomatic person. I am the politically correct person. I like to keep peace, and to me, I feel that a lot of times I don't want anyone to feel left out if they were not tagged. How's that? I don't want anyone to feel like they don't belong, or they don't, they're left out. So I am going to tag everyone. How's that? And I think it's a great, great way to find out things about each other and have fun with it. And so far I've watched a couple and nobody has the same exact answers. I definitely did not fit the fall profile like I'm sure a lot of people will be answering. So thank you so much for watching, you guys, and please do the 15 fall questions tag. All right, bye-bye.